Sorry, I know, I stopped you before a big part. It's very anticlimactic. In section B, who has the theme? Raise your hand if you think you have the melody. Ish, okay, ish is something, that's good. Nice. So if you don't have the melody, who's playing but does not have the melody? Yeah. It was a tiny bit on the loud side, which is weird because there's fewer of you. So if you're still in the ish zone, you're not sure you have the melody, or if you definitely don't have the melody, try to let the melody speak out a little bit more. Flutes are quiet. They're high up, but they're quiet. Another thing, flutes especially, I was just noticing it, can we really try to accentuate that difference between timed and slurred notes that Natalia was working on? So exaggerate it to the point where you think it sounds silly, because it's always easier to pull it back down than it is to bring it up. So, even if you feel like you're going to, I would prefer that than to hear no difference at this point. Okie dokie. Can we take it right from section B? Do we need to slow down a little bit? Yeah, I see some nods. Let's take it a little bit slower. I think section B is a tiny bit trickier for some instruments. Okay, here we go. Where are we? Yeah. Okay, thank you. So in 29, right before we get there, what happens right before the basses have the melody? There was a crescendo. Is there any way we can slightly more elegantly go from that crescendo to the basses having the melody? Because it sort of sounded like we lost all of the band at once, which I mean we did, but we don't want to make it sound like they fell off a cliff. We want to make it sound like they intentionally stopped playing. So is there a way we can crescendo into that and then maybe back off a little bit towards the end, unless you're a trombone or tuba or an instrument that has the melody, and then you guys can bring it out as much as possible? Yes, okay. So can we take it the bar before section A? because I like that everyone gets the melody, but it is a little bit weird that it's hard to avoid everyone sounding like they fell off a cliff. So I don't know if
I think what they've tried to do is pass the melody around to some people who don't usually get it, and that's
and
what they're
I
trying
like
to do.
that
But it
concept.
certainly
I think
doesn't
they could have.
sound like Handel original.
Yeah, I think they could have gone about it in a slightly different way. So that would be one little book criticism. But it's nice that they're giving everyone an opportunity. So that's good. Can we try a really dramatic and just in that last line? The quick decrescendo and crescendo again. Let's get down. It says mezzo piano, but you know what? I think telling a beginner band mezzo anything is dangerous. I think you should sometimes just tell them full out a dynamic because better to exaggerate. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bars before the end and make like a decrescendo and crescendo so dramatic you think it sounds ridiculous. Okay, here we go. 1, 2.
Just do the last 2 bars once again, and will you get bigger with your beat?
Yes.
Yeah, when you want them to go bigger, you have to go bigger as well, okay? Just the last 2 bars, or the last 3 bars.
Yeah, last 3 bars. Here we go.
Okay.
We're going to play on page 35, Riverside March. Before we start playing with the instruments, can we just clap the rhythm from bar in 1 to 11? 1, 2, 3, 4. Could we just clap the first bar just one by one? 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, so do you know what that rhythm is called when you emphasize the repeat? Syncopation. Pardon? Syncopation? Yeah. So that rhythm, do you see that appearing anywhere else in the music? Bar 6. Bar 6, yeah. Yeah. Just, okay. Okay, so now that we know how to play syncopations, let's try run through the piece with our instruments. Can anyone tell me by looking at the score what form this piece is in? Yes, maybe, and that's a turning form, which means there's contrasting themes occurring in the piece, right? So we're gonna just focus on section A. So let's play from the beginning to measure 11, but only play when you see an accent written on it. So what are the two different accents that you see from in the piece? Stewart?
Ricardo accent.
And what about you, David? Accents that you see for 1 to 11?
Stick out my
Great, great. And one more. There's one more. Just
slur.
yeah. All right. So only play when there's a staccato and an accent. Okay. Okay. Only play the staccato and the accented notes. So in bar 1, is anyone gonna be playing? No. Okay.
Should we be playing just our accent?
Yes. Actually, yeah. So. Actually, can I have the snare drum just playing throughout the piece?
Yeah, that'd give them something to hang on to. Yeah.
Short, and the accents are emphasized in the beginning but tapered off nicely. And so we heard that when people are playing staccatos, there's some discrepancy between like the length and the time when you play it. So make sure you're listening to each other when you articulate. So let's try that once more. Let's just start from bar 2 and up to bar 7. 1, 2, ready, go. Listen to each other. Great. Okay. Okay, so in just looking at section A, where do you see the quietest dynamic and what is it? Mezzo forte? Does anyone have something different?
For all of section A?
The clarinets? Piano? At 11? Okay, so can I have the clarinets, horns, and the saxes playing at their quietest level, which is the second theme. So bar 11, clarinets, horns, and saxes. Ready? 1, 2, ready, go. was gonna run through the piece, but I'm just gonna say the.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
You
wrap
just
it up.
got a minute, so just give me your comments, what we want.
So I think this book was very useful. As an inexperienced teacher, I found it easy to use and follow. And the color-coded boxes in the conductor score, like such as like learning objectives for student learning and new concepts, really helped me like what I need to focus by playing this piece with you guys today. So I decided to focus on the dynamics and the articulation and musicality. And I know that teaching a real beginner band class, like it wouldn't go as I planned. So there's an index at the back. So if I need to work on something or if I need to figure out a fingering for a specific instrument, that I can just quickly refer to it. So impromptu lessons are easy. But I think as a teacher, I should know how to play all the band instruments. And since there's so much material in this book, maybe I could, before I start teaching the class for the year, I would look through the whole book and see what I need to work on and see what I don't need, and maybe think about what other pieces I could add to make the year more interesting.
Okay, thank you.
So I don't need to set up my own.
No, we've got two going, so that's fine.
Okay, so I like the way it sounds today. We're going to keep working on Riverside March now. And what I'd like to do first is just run through the entire piece once more, and this time try and keep in mind what you just worked on with hyunjoo. Okay, so about one. Okay, sounds good. For this portion, we're going to focus on section B of the piece. So once we get to the trio. So looking there, who can tell me what happens in the piece? Just look at this one. Sorry?
Should I stop?
You stop playing. Okay. Okay, yeah, Kurt.
We have to play really soft, and we have to look at the slurs.
The slurs?
Articulations.
Yep, that's right. Articulation is very important. Okay, Darlene?
It's a key change.
Right, that's what I was looking for. Okay. So, this is a march. So, in the second section is called the trio, section B. So, here in this section, everybody in the band, you add